Hello everyone and welcome back. Hey Sophie, hey Date6, nice to see you again. Yeah, Most Unlocked Catgirl is back and we're gonna do some tanking today and just, playing and having some good fun. And I guess we need to talk about some stuff in the industry. Shit's dumb again. And I'm just like, why? Why do we need to deal with that again? You know? Ooh, loot. So, how's everyone doing? How has the week been for the first 2 days? Ooh. Just a bit, no, I don't want to say tired, but... Tired? Ooh, nice. Well, I need to get back to that, honestly. I actually bought some drawing paper a while ago again, and I was like, should just start drawing again in some shape or form. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, maybe I should just, sit down, try getting things back on track in terms of learning to draw, and hopefully that works, I guess. Maybe. Slowly, actually getting used to a bunch of shit. Seems like, it seems a bit like I'm currently experiencing everything being shit because, of being in, having weight loss right now, so, yay. Fun. Oh yeah, I mean, I was actually able to draw. I was pretty... Okay, I mean, I did a lot of, more rounded cartoon animals a lot of times because I just found them funny. Yeah, I know, simple. I did try human characters, but I think I already talked about how it kind of always ended up looking like Akira Toriyama, and that kind of just killed my what's it called? My enthusiasm, which I need to probably get back to that. I was pretty good at furry art though, for some reason. I just tried that randomly, and Like, that was surprisingly easy to actually draw, in my opinion. Like, I feel like faces are just much easier to get right when, you know, they don't need to be humanoid. Like, humanoid faces are round. You can easily fuck up that. But, like, you draw a cat, you draw a wolf, it's, like, much more shaped. So, you can actually go much more wider than that. With that. Are they?
Pretty much everybody can draw.
Drawing is a skill, mostly. You need to train it. Yeah, that's true. I think at that point I should have probably just, how's it called? Just be happy about the fact that I, you know, basically drew in a very stylized way that probably everyone could, to a degree, maybe relate to.
I cannot draw well, but I haven't tried much.
Maybe you should try again. But yeah,
I can draw eyes.
that's true. Also trained a lot of eye drawing. Eyes are pretty important. You know what's also a really easy hack if you want to draw a face that, you know, to look good without and you have to deal with eyes and stuff. You give them sunglasses. Instantly avoids eyes, but also gives them extra coolness style points. So
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe I should just embrace the fact that I draw like Toriyama, because, like, I think
If you even still draw like that.
maybe would be, you know, it would be funny if I just end up there again, but I should just probably live with it, because, like, it doesn't look bad, but also, like, yeah, you can avoid a lot of uncanny valley effects if you just, you know, make people look like Bulma. Okay, but then you have the problem, everyone looks like Bulma. Yeah, that's actually pretty fair. First unofficial rule of art academy goes, always pretend you meant to do it like that. Very accurate, actually.
I think Bob Ross called it happy little accidents.
Yeah. Then again, Bob Ross is it's so fucking
Amazing.
Yeah. It's so funny watching him, but also, like, there's one of those, it's one of those things where I have just insane like, I like drawing physically. Like, I do want to maybe get a tablet at some point, because I know if you want to share stuff, it is just easier to have it digitally from the beginning. But it's also just kind of hilarious to you know, there was someone who made a video where he and artist friends just, you know, basically tried to follow a Bob Ross video, you know, drawing it themselves, and they all drew digitally, and they just realized, wait a fucking second, we cannot keep up with that guy, because, well, if Bob Ross wanted to do something, he just took usually the same brush he had, dipped it into something, bam! Clouds. And then trees. And it's just like, yeah. Bob Ross, he just blazed past him, and they just had to struggle to keep up. And that was kind of funny. But it is just like the whole, you know, getting, you know, drawing physically is just always very interesting, because, you know, again, because it is a physical medium, you can do so much with that. Ooh, there's the helicopter going.
Physics apply in a more direct way.
Yeah. You're completely right. How eloquently put by you. Thank you.
No problem.
Stop shooting at me! Ah. Oh. Oh no.
Airspace is clear. Pilots are free to engage.
Oh.
Attack on Echo is underway.
And also, I think training an art skill, you know, be it writing or writing, you know, and such, it's just something I think everyone should do, because I wholly believe that we really left out that a lot of tech people, like, okay, so half a decade or like a decade ago, there was this big thing about, you know, tech people just, you know, slamming ethics, because, you know, why would you need it even? And everyone was like, I don't know, maybe because you should know basic ethics stuff when you develop anything, especially tech. And like,
What are you referring to with ethics in this?
for example, how you, basically, for example, because everyone just keeps reinventing chronology. Stuff like that. But, you know, with, like, basic ethics, studies, you would basically know, wait, I'm just reinventing chronology right now. So that would...
I think that's more a history problem.
It is a history problem, but I do think...
Because if they already knew someone did it, and also it didn't work, they probably wouldn't do it. Oh,
No, they don't. But yeah, kind of not... You know, the thing is, they don't care that it's hogwash. That's the thing. They know that it exists. They just think they could do it better.
But we already have proven that it isn't a thing. It doesn't matter how good you do it. It's so wrong.
Yeah, that's...
Not like even on a moral level. It's just like it doesn't align with reality.
Yeah, but they don't care.
At that point, that's not ethics.
I mean, it's also to a degree ethics, because, you know, yeah, you would even know that you can, because, like, but the statistics show, yeah, but, you know, you can make a lot of wrong statistics for a lot of things. Anyway,
I mean, they're technically correct. They're just misapplied or misleading.
it's just, it, you know, it misses data they don't think about existing.
Yeah. So the statistic is technically correct, but still use this for what I want to use it for because data is missing.
Yes, but okay. Basically, I would also say,
But at that point, I don't think ethics would help because that's just willful obscurement of facts.
that is true. But another thing I wanted to just bring up, by the way, I do think tech people should be forced to do an ethics course for once, because that they may be from the get-go realize that something they do doesn't even need to have a historic presence, might just be unethical bullshit. But also I do think they should also be forced to do.
But you already argued that it doesn't matter to them. So
Oh no, I do think if you want to actually go through, finish, tech, like a study of it, you would need to do also exceed in ethics and one art part.
that seems kind of useless.
This is a human. No, you know why?
Normally, I would say just do an ethics committee.
No. Do you know why I think they should do art?
Huh?
Because all those tech, especially CEO people right now, keep pushing Gen AI and they just show constantly they do not get why it's bad. They always distract and pull and claim complete bullshit. While, the fact of the matter is, no, Gen AI should not be used at all in any creative process. Period. And everyone who does,
Pretty useless for that anyway.
it's just the stealing machine, basically.
What? I'm not familiar with that term.
Gen AI is only regurgitating the most used stuff. It's just regurgitating stuff from other people. It doesn't do
Yes.
new things.
Yes.
But also the thing I want to point out is that I do think tech people have so little respect for art, or legitimately do not understand it, because they just genuinely think the art and the creative process is having an idea, not more.
Ideas are easy.
Yeah, but they're all ideas, guys. They all have ideas.
I have ideas. Everybody has ideas.
But really fleshing out ideas, working on stuff, doing creative work, they don't want to do that. They never do that. And I do think.
To say, now that you said that, reminded me again of what AI tends to spout out if you give it something. I have found one useless use case you could use it for. It would still be stupid, so there's no reason to do it, but you could use it for it. And that's finding out what's the most kind of written tropes and stuff on the internet. But you don't
I'm pretty
need
sure we have a website for that already.
Yeah, see? It's a convoluted way to do the same thing, more resource inefficient and worse.
Yeah, so bottom line, don't use it.
Yeah. Why would you?
But yeah, I do think tech people should be actually forced into at least one art course, and with the crucial addition that they need to succeed in it, or else they are not. They do not get. They cannot actually finish their studies, because I
What would be the
genuinely
goal
think.
of said art course?
First of all, you could choose whatever you want. You could actually learn to draw. Draw. You could make a writing course, etc. Like a lot of
What
things.
is the goal? They need to succeed.
Actually appreciating and learning how to do art.
And how do you? The learning how to do art is easy to control. The appreciate is harder to measure.
The thing is, I do think if you actually went through this and, like, listen, the moment you actually really learn how to, for example, paint with oil, and you really learn, like, do this for a while and do it long, you will appreciate the craft. Like, maybe in the beginning they are pissed because, oh, why do I need to do this now? Why do I need to do useless things? But again, it's one of those, you will learn to appreciate it more the longer you do it.
I mean, if there was a good way, which is the only thing missing, by the way, to scan in oil paintings more accurately.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is, and I just don't know. I think oil paintings would even become more popular to do in general.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because, like, just from looking at them, they're really cool.
I mean, you need space, which sucks, but yeah, oil paintings are amazing.
Yeah.
But I also think, a literature class would also be kind of important because, this is really here. All the CEOs or people that push Gen AI, those are the same people that back in school said, it could mean anything. This story. Why? What do you mean? What do you mean, author's intent? Those were always the people that were like, oh, you can interpret everything into a book. Or, it doesn't need to mean anything. And this content needs to genuinely be erased in them. Like, period. This is just the fact that schools fail at that already.
We've begun our assault on Echo.
It means that the curtains are blue. Yeah, oh god, it...
Apparently my backwater school in Germany didn't have those people.
I don't know. How much do you even remember from it?
From interpretation classes, mostly Faust. I know they were bad at it. They know a lot said they don't know, but none of them said you could interpret however you want or it doesn't mean anything. Nobody did, not even in her free time.
Damn. Fucking backwater East Germans are outsmarting most tech people. Yeah, no, there is always this idea that, a description means nothing. It's just a literal description, Oh, the devil said this and this. Or, what is, for example, with Faust? Well, what's a good example there? As you go into that.
I just remember the following from it. Okay? It was about the Summer Night Queen part. And I identified two, let's call them, not different interpretations, but more like the general interpretation of the text, the metaphorical interpretation of the text, and I know that there was another one, but I didn't get it, on which my teacher informed me, that was critique of the times, which we didn't have in history class. So.
Good teacher, by the way.
He was fine.
Yeah, I mean, similarly, I mean, hey, let's, favorite meme picture of the internet. Franz Kafka, The Transformation. I genuinely ran across people who were just like, well, it's just fucked up if someone turns into a cockroach, and it's like...
If you take it literally...
I mean, yes, it would be fucked up, but also not really, because cockroaches are like... But anyway... Because, cockroaches are pretty survivable, so you don't really need a house anymore, but like... Oh my god!
But you would still be the only giant cockroach in the world. That's pretty sad.
Like,
Also, you would have body dysphoria probably. Like the chances are pretty high.
yeah,
You had completely different mouth tools from before, and you would need to eat dirt from the floor. Also, your taste would work differently. So, if you go into it literally, yes, but for most people, I would guess it's more for surface level that would be fucked up and they don't think about it. I overthink it, I guess.
yeah. Basically, a lot of these people just went, well, it's just an interesting idea if someone turns into a cockroach, and you're like,
Well, that's one part.
but also like, it's a literal metaphor for depression and self-worth. Oh.
I think that's obvious.
Oh,
Okay.
I think it is probably the most obvious one of like any. But yeah, there are people out there who just do not get that. They just refuse, and it's insane. Like, I don't know where to even start here. On the. Like, it is so insane that people just come up with like, oh, it just means it's, you know, the curtains are just blue. It's like a very famous one from American literature, I think. By the way, I just need to overhaul my existence. And my existence is back. But I don't know the book because I think it's one of those I have not read, but like, oh well, the CEO of Larian is currently running defense on Twitter, and it's literally just he dodges questions about the use of Gen AI. God, you fucking coward! Just say you push it onto your people and they hated it, and now you're just forcing it through. Like, come the fuck on! Like, that's a personal thing, you know. Like I know.
But then he would be the bad guy, and he can't be the bad guy because he isn't bad. Mom said so.
Mom said it's my turn to be the good guy. Yeah, no, like, I don't, again, it's probably one of those exact things when he's like, oh, we don't use AI we don't generate pictures with Gen AI. But you said you're using those tools to make concept art. Like, are you stupid or what? It is going to. It just takes a while, and it's so stupid because now all the rich people are just so depressingly hard pushing it, and it's just like, listen, man, your studio will probably go under after this because do you really think Divinity will sell well? You know, first of all. Second, you will be ousted, probably. Like, a lot of gaming CEOs will. Because I keep saying, people misinterpret that just a very few amount of games actually get away with having Gen AI in them. And even then, the reaction to it is just... like, here's the thing, okay? So, the best example I would say is you look at, you look, for example, at the games that quote-unquote got away with Gen AI, okay? Quote-unquote. You know what we see? A lot of people, it's, first of all, it's basically just Arc Raiders and, how's it called again? Clear Obscure. Two things about this. First of all, Clear Obscure, and while I can say a lot of people are just very much you trying to find excuses to, you know, play it. And yeah, we can say it was definitely quote-unquote minimal.
We don't know actually.
But we don't actually know, because the thing is we only saw a very minimal amount in the game, which, you know, and the reaction was, again, whoops, you were not supposed to see that. They will use more Gen AI next time. Again, their game might not succeed. Due to that. Because the thing is, and this is a very crucial psychological thing to keep in mind here. I think one of the main reasons people keep trying to defend Clair Obscur is just to a big degree the simple fact this came out afterwards, and you know, it wasn't like a front and center thing. So basically people were already invested in the game. Then it was suddenly an whoops, don't do that, they did the bad thing. And then basically everyone was already like, well, I'm already invested in the game. Can I find reasons to keep playing it? That's it. That's the... If that is the reason why this one succeeded... Yeah. Also, Arc Raiders, I know a lot of people just didn't know. Like, again, I do think a lot of people just knew that, you know, oh, it's a new shooter by people whose games I played before, and that wasn't like... I recently started talking with an old friend again. He was talking about that, about maybe getting it, and I just told him, yeah, they're using Gen AI for voices, and he instantly went, oh, well, no then. So basically, again, those games do not get basically only got through because they got people on board and then had an amount they could ignore after being invested. But at some point we need to just be aware that this will change. Because again, this is fickle. This isn't a guaranteed thing. Like, again, people also jumped onto Inzoi, a game that also, you know, basically really tried to hide they're using Gen AI, even though it was like their whole deal. And basically they ran off the whole, oh, you can stick it to EA by, you know, because they are not making a new Sims game, which is just... First of all, The Sims 4 has been expanded on since like a whole decade, which, yeah, I know. Can you just say that it is very childish that a whole game with Gen AI was basically able to sell itself on this weird idea that The Sims 4 existing for a long time is bad, even though The Sims 4 is like the best version of The Sims you can buy? And yeah, while I get, you know, oh, there is no open neighborhood again, you know, like in The Sims 3, or, you know, oh, they don't make sequels to that, which is like, hey, would they? Sims 4 is running, and, you know, the irony is they themselves said, yeah, our game is, like, so big and long, and, like, you know, making a new one would basically abandon it for... And say, hey, buy something new that we can't even promise would have the same fun, which is fair. That's like probably the fairest assessment of that whole situation. It's just so big that any sequel would underdeliver in the big from the get-go. But like, yeah, the game sold itself on basically people being pretty childish about The Sims because, you know, oh no, not having open air, you know. And then it turns out there was not a lot added. The game was pretty shallow, and you know they've been more and more about, hey, you can use Gen AI, and then now everyone is like, well, that sucks, and it's like, again, no respect for that, but it shows pretty clearly how, like, how much this is not, how much, you know. Okay, let me just put it like this. Gen AI basically needs to really keep the lid on it being Gen AI, else it will not be accepted everywhere. You know, aside from the fact that it's, how should I put it in the, should I say it in the fact, it's already underperforming. Like, Microsoft themselves said that, you know, had to cut their whole operations back because no one is using Copilot. They keep shoving it in everywhere because, again, they are desperate. So, what did you expect here, actually? But crucially, they know no one wants to use it. They just don't. They just don't. Yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting bubble to burst. And the thing is, after that, like, none of this shit will ever, will just basically stop instantly, because I think a lot of people forget that, like, a lot of these Gen AI pushes, especially into game studios, are not organic. These are not by devs that want them. These are by CEOs that, you know, basically got sold into a cult, and that cult basically relies on them to restructure their whole company to use a shitty program running on an you know, oversized server guzzling up gallons of water. That's it. They need people to force this shit into somewhere because, again, else their whole business model could never work.
Well, it still doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It's just
Can't.
being kept temporarily afloat.
Yeah, it is. But like, they're basically all on the what if everyone just suddenly signed up and
if it suddenly got like 200% cheaper to run.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, the fucking irony of this is, it's just the fact that I do think the tech sector just never stopped being able to get over their whole Uber idea. Like, Gen AI is that's an interesting pyramidal shape to the business model. It is a pyramid scheme. Because they all do that. It's all pyramid schemes. Like, I don't literally want to be negative about that, but it is genuinely CEOs sell to other CEOs that hopefully they sell to their employees that they need to use ChatGPT.
Well, they don't need to sell it to their employees.
They just, you know, so they forced it onto it. But, you know, the idea is the hope that the employees through that will just learn how great it is. And yeah, obviously they don't, because even as the Larian CEO himself admitted, oh yeah, there's no efficiency gain, nothing, in the tech side or so.
It's just an extra cost somewhere else in water, hardware, workforce.
Yep.
So it's just a sink.
Like, the thing is, basically, the CEO just kind of openly said, hey, it doesn't work, but you know, people are using it anyway. Also, most should be fine with that in the company. It's like, oh yeah, just do the casual threat that most people should be aligned with his idea of it. But also, like, you know why they always keep focusing on, you know, why he kept focusing on the whole part of, you know, oh, it's you know, it's not in, you know, making assets or stuff. It's just like in the creative process. Two things about that. First of all, they know, oh hey, if it was too obvious in games, people would hate it even more. But second of all, and this is a crucial thing here. First of it, this is like the whole quote unquote getting concept arts, writing, you know, placeholder text, etc. All of those are the few parts where Gen AI is the least disruptive. It's still bad and it has bad consequences, but it is the least disruptive. You know?
I wouldn't call it a net zero. I would actually call it like a negative in efficiency. If you, like, imagine you should draw a character concept, yeah? But you have to use Gen AI for the character concept first. So you need to sit there until the thing finally figures out, well, it doesn't figure, figuratively speaking, figures out what you want.
Yep.
To then draw it yourself.
Yep.
So,
again, I'm not saying...
So he's even lying with the whole, there's no efficiency gain, because technically there's an efficiency loss.
Yeah. That's why I say he basically only this is the one part they, you know, he can basically force most people to use it, because again, it's the least you know, disruptive one. It's still bad. It's still worse.
Consumers won't notice it as much, I guess.
At least that is the hope.
Yeah.
But like, I would not be so sure of that, actually. Because like, people notice usually, you know? Like, if something is written mediocre or just kind of bad, people notice, you know? People are not dumb.
Oh, if they actually use it for like writing prompts or stuff like that, this would be obvious very fast, because as we said, like, AI gives you what it encounters the most. So I guess bad light noise.
Oh yeah, like,
Oh, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I do think this is because a lot of tech people think being creative is having an idea, and then, you know, however that idea becomes reality is just still the logical extension of their creativity, not, you know,
The hard part.
not the hard part other people do. Like, I genuinely think that that Larian CEO stood, you know, last year on the stage as, you know, and got that award handed over and thought, this is my work. Because probably his only idea was we should do Baldur's Gate 3, and then everyone else at the studio did the work. But he thinks because this was his idea, so it's also his creative work. That's how they think. Because that is quite literally thing, because you need to keep in mind, these people are cultists. That's why they talk about Gen AI like that, because they think having the idea is the creative process and everything else is just, you know, the logical fulfillment of their creative process. That's why they don't see the difference. That's why I also disagree with people saying they only care about the outcome. No. They think in terms of idea equals creativity, nothing else. That's how you get to their mindset. But yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. Plainly, it's very simple actually, because basically we just have to deal with a bunch of idea guys that, you know, never thought that, you know, blue curtains could mean anything. And well, maybe at some point in time we might this probably will fix itself with the end of Gen AI, because like ugh.
Enemy helicopter!
Okay. Do we actually want to talk about some more funny things?
Like what? Fiber?
What?
Like fiber?
We could talk about fiber a little bit. That is actually a valid choice. No, I actually thought about something else right now. So, interesting thing about the game here. Oh, you might see it in a second. So this right down here is supposed to be a Leopard 2A4. So, you know, not the newest version of the tank, but they're fighting, you know, an Abrams tank, and they're relatively equal in terms of performance. So, you know, this isn't the whole next, like, I mean, technically you could say, well, no, Leopard 2A4 is a good tank, but they would definitely be outperformed by an A8, which I do think they should maybe do a German faction at some point, but anyway. So one of the funniest things in this game that these tanks have is they have a turret blowout when they die, which is cool and looks cinematic. Maybe you will see it in a bit, but different topic. Oh yeah, you might actually see it in a bit. Let me just go onto the... There. Get hit another time. There. See? Fire and blow. There we go. Looks great, right? They don't do that.
Well done.
Yeah, but do you know why the Abrams and the Leopards don't do that?
I don't think there's enough fuel in there to make it that.
No, those blowout exists. But only with Russian tanks. Okay, so the thing is,
So which side are you playing on right now?
we're playing Pax Armata, that's German. And the other one uses M1 Abrams, NATO.
So you play a side without Russian tanks,
Yes,
but they behave like Russian tanks.
yes. Like, it's not that it's technically not possible, but there is a reason it happens consistently in Russian tanks.
I remember vaguely that you told me about, I don't know if it applies to this tank, that some tanks basically hermetically seal their crew.
No, that's the T-14 Armata. That's not them.
T-14 Armata, Pax Armata.
Ironically, no. They don't have anything in common.
Sedge.
Pax Armata ironically uses old European export stuff like the Eurocopter and
You know that I don't remember tank names.
let me put it like this. This fictional PMC is better equipped than the current Russian army.
Yeah, that's not hard.
Yeah, I know. They just don't use Russian stuff. Anyway, so the thing is, the whole turret blowout looks cool, but is fundamentally a design flaw in Russian tanks since the Cold War. Okay, because basically this comes down to doctrines. Okay? See, there was this idea of Russian tanks needing to be like an armored spear breaking through the line, and then you can encircle people. But to get that going, and especially having a lot of them, they did two things. First of all, they made the tank small in profile. Okay? So with the idea of they're harder to hit, which, by the way, nowadays is kind of irrelevant. And then instead of, going for active armor, active protection systems, they had reactive systems. So stuff you slap on the hull, and, when something hits it, it's supposed to, like, blow back and scatter the impact. Which also nowadays is pretty much irrelevant because stuff like javelins or the everything that the West produces has a two-stage impact device. So this is why the Russian tanks started to just die so fucking fast in the beginning, because quite literally you could just punch through their reactive armor. Anyway, the thing is, to make the Russian tank small in profile, and that's also still a thing in the Armata, by the way, so it won't be better. They needed to do... so there are two things about it. Everything is cramped in there, so it's already hard to get out. Second of all, they built an autoloader. So, they could just basically say, hey, we don't need that many humans in a tank. They just need 3. That's fine. That's a logical idea. The thing is just, this autoloader had to be somewhere. Okay? And the big problem they ran into is the fact that they basically made it so that what's it called? The ammunition of the tank is basically below the crew in like a wheel. Okay? And then, the autoloader takes it out and puts it in a cannon. Yada, yada, yada. Now, the problem that this creates, and this is like a design problem, all Russian tanks have, because they had to be designed that way to, to save space, means that this ammunition is pretty exposed if all your armor fails. And keep in mind, the whole Russian tanks do not have active protection. They can't even build them anymore because they have to actually import those systems because they never developed them. So you only have reactive armor, and again, we talked about this before. Basically, every single European/Western rocket or tank shell is punching through reactive armor. So basically what happens is you only need one hit to basically get into that ammunition depot and where it is, or something near that to heat it up for the ammunition to just ignite. And the problem now is, remember where the ammunition is? Below the crew. So the problem it has is, and we think now back, by the way, to basic physics class. If there is energy, it will always take the way of least resistance. Ain't that right? You should have that as in physics.
Are you assuming I listened to you talking about tanks?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Damn. Again, but energy will always take the way of least resistance.
Yes.
So, and the way of least resistance is up.
Getting a cute girl to cook for you.
Listen, you can hold out your life achievements later. But, or is it part of the gay shit you're reading?
It's physics.
It's also physics. Anyway, what I want to say though is, so the ignited ammo, and it just needs some heat again, very easily to ignite. Just set off all the ammunition, and the easiest way of this blast is upwards through the crew and blowing out the turret. This is why all the Russian tanks get their turret blown out.
Yeah.
And European tanks don't have that because ammunition is in the back of the turret, behind a metal slider. Because European tanks prioritize crew safety. So if something actually would set that off, to set off the ammunition, it will not blow inside of the tank. It will actually blow back outwards. So this does two things. First of all, yes, the tank might be disabled, but repairable, and the crew lives. And if you can repair a tank and the crew's alive, you didn't suffer any losses, actually.
Material costs.
Real material costs. Meanwhile, Russia now has the problem of their tanks just blow up, kill their tank crews, and this is why it just keeps getting worse for them in Ukraine, because they just don't have personnel to drive tanks anymore. Or, the ones they have are really bad. So they just die faster, actually. The Queen speaks truth and great wisdom. Yeah, she speaks from experience, especially. That's what I want to add to this. She really got a cute girl to cook for her. I admitted I'm cute, so I can just say that.
Yeah, I know. I would say it anyway.
Then why don't you do it?
I already did.
No, come on, say it. Am I cute?
Yes, you're cute.
Cute. But yeah, this is why, as cool as it looks, hey guys, Maybe
They're
removed
trying to
ammunition.
imply that Pax Armata doesn't have much value on more resources than people. That's bad.
Yeah, but they're still using German tanks.
Yeah, see, that's... We already talked about metaphorical interpretation of things, so if they, as a stylistic choice, choose to change the tanks for the worse, which makes not much sense.
But they also changed the NATO tanks for the worst. The Abrams also blow up like that.
So that means that Pax Armata are a coalition of countries that don't care about the people.
I mean, in that regard, NATO's also... Oh, yeah, wait. No. Honestly, when it comes to that...
Unintentional...
Very unintentional, yeah. Considering, you know, the whole tank doctrine of the West has been to raise survivability. Anyway, but yeah, hey, small thing about tank design I just want to point out. And yeah, if you ever wondered why Russian tanks are so bad, it's literally that. They just have a design flaw. That's why they underperformed so hard in Ukraine. And frankly, it's just going to be worse because, you know, like, this is probably the first time in decades that we have this open of, you know, just straight feedback from just design. Like, I mean, first of all, Russia will not be able to actually restock their tanks. First, like, that's a big thing I want to point out. For everyone who hears, like, horror stories about how they produce so much tanks, we could produce more, but it's a different story. Again, Western tanks just don't suck. First thing. But a very crucial difference is, so a lot of the newer tanks, even if they just wanted to produce T-90s, let's just don't talk about the T-14 Armata. That thing is its own shit show. Basically, they actually relied on a lot of import parts from Europe. So, they can't do that anymore. That's gone. That's just quite literally gone. Import parts from Europe are gone. So basically, they are nowadays just mainly relying on something called dual use. Which is, to put it mildly, things you can buy on the civilian market that technically could fulfill the same role as something you could, as something that you know, could also fulfill a military role. That's how it's what dual use means. Here's the thing that a lot of people forget about dual use. It sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can technically build a tank with dual use parts, but also, like, it's not gonna be good. Like, I know, you know, talking about some military warfare and design right here, but like, yeah, it works, but like, keep in mind, they're already taking out tanks from the 60s. Like, they're not even building really new tanks, they're just refurbishing existing tanks, and they're refurbishing it with, you know, the third or fourth choice of options. You know, on top of not having tank crews. It's just not good. And interestingly, now we, since we now actually have, you know, they're basically going up against, like, a bunch of nations. They, like, in the best scenario, they actually want to invade at some point. It's just a thing. Like, those are... So Russia's imperialist and Putin can't... he can't stop the war. His whole economy is dependent on being a war economy. Anyway, the thing is, now they're basically making pretty bad tanks from bad tanks, and sending them against tanks that just outperform them. And we have another point that is actually going to be even worse for them, because that's... You know, Russians have the problem of they actually can't really build, you know, new tanks. Europe can. And the worst part of that, you know, the worst part for Russia is we know exactly what to do. Like, good example here, okay? You know, during the war, it turned out that, especially, you know, yes, they were used to a degree very aggressively, but even with the tactic changes, it turned out that the Leopard, at least the Leopard 2A4 and 2A6, was not as survivable as a lot of people thought it was. Same with the Abrams. Still, leagues better tanks than the Russian ones, but they were actually, especially when it came to the use of drones, relatively, you know, relatively vulnerable due to, I think, two spots on the rear and one on the front, actually, so not good. Mind you, again, this needed precise hits, and it was hard, and but basically this was identified. However, interestingly, there was one tank that performed in terms of, you know, quality and survivability really, really well. And this was the Stritzwagen 122 from Sweden. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, if someone is from Sweden, just fucking shoot me now if I mispronounce that. Anyway, so good thing about that one was it was just really fucking survivable. But it is also basically a Leopard 2 with more armor. So they just had the data on, hey, what would, you know, a well-protected Leopard 2 be? And the answer is the Swedish model. And so they just put that into the new ones, and well, that's the A8. And that's gonna, well, even Sweden ordered the A8. That says everything on that regard. So yeah, tank design. Hope you liked my, well, you like coming to my NIA talk. Anything else to talk about? We fucking talked about Gen AI already, and it's like, it's just fucking embarrassing that some people just say, oh, we just use it during the concept phase and all. And it's like, bitch, if you can't come up with ideas on your own, if you can't flesh ideas on your own, without relying on a basically text prediction tool, then don't work in that field. That's all I will say. If you can't do the basic shit, then go away.
Bravo has been neutralized.
Like, like for the past days, Agonia and I, we are kind of working on something that we kind of wanted to write for a while. But at least she wants me to write it, and I need to, and we're kind of just working out some details on the world and such, and like, you know what? Don't need some fucking server that guzzles insane amounts of water for that. You know what we need? Midnight walks.
And a halfway functioning brain.
And a halfway functioning brain. But the midnight walks help a lot.
Yeah.
That's some good time working on them.
And it's not based on the most popular stuff, mostly posted online.
Yeah. Because, you know, guess what? If you actually have a creative brain, you come up with shit on your own. It's probably that someone had this idea or had some versions of it at some point, but like, I don't know. I can't tell you. I usually just come up with my own bullshit.
I mean, technically speaking, unless quantum theory proves otherwise, we're just the culmination of causality before us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, also, you know, I kind of, there's also the thing that, that fuels the fact that, you know, for example, I just like thinking, for example, about, why are witches like that? Because, like, if you write
which
something,
witches?
that's the thing.
So many witches.
That's the thing, okay? Here's the thing I do want, I do like to do personally in writing, okay? This is just a very personal quirk of mine. I do like, looking at things people know. Like, for example, the witch, okay? And there are a few things people associate with witches. But also, I do then want, like, finding out reasons of, like, okay, so why are there, you know, why are there similar, like, these similarities that maybe all of them have in each world? Like, why did that happen in this world? What separates them? What, you know, makes them unique? Where does their magic come from? Do they even do magic in the loosest sense? Or do people just think what they do is magic and when in reality it's not? And I think that is actually fascinating things to think about because, like, yeah, you know, I do like some fantasy tropes and, you know, doing some fantasy stuff, but I always think it is very much interesting to think, you know, just, you know, never stop at, you know, oh, I want witches in my story. It's more about, okay, but what form does it take? Why is it? And you can go unhinged with that, because, like, for example, I do think this is probably the most interesting question you can ask about witches. Why are they all girls?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
You could also ask the question, why would there be only girls?
Yeah. Like, I mean, to a degree, we can say from, you know, human history, being a witch is an inherently gendered word that is associated with a type of woman that was, you know...
In a high social position.
Yeah. And you can say, well, they don't. There could just be male witches. Which is boring. Like, I want to be...
But it's fine.
It's fine. You can do that. Gotta get that equality in there. Let the males go into the, you know, female domain.
This is, I think, unintentionally creepy what you just said.
I know! Maybe, I don't know. It just, I just think, here's the thing, okay? Listen, the problem is we live in a, We live in a society. Anyway, we have history. Things don't exist in a vacuum, okay? Like, you write a story about witches, and witches are an inherently gendered idea. Yeah, you can say simply, that is just not the case.
Not here.
And not here, and, you know, bam, done. No problem. Or you, like, actually find ways on why is it like that. Because there could be a lot. And I think sitting down and thinking about all, you know, details like that actually makes it much more interesting. Like, I mean, hell, because you're like, okay, but why should I think about that? Well, listen, you're right then, okay? And you're like, okay, all witches are girls. So what if a guy signs up to become a witch? You see what I mean? Suddenly the options are, you know, just swung wide open. Because you have to answer a bunch of shit and it's gonna be interesting. Because, yeah, I do think this, you know, especially this working in existing concepts is, in my opinion, very interesting because you just have some restrictions, and I do think restrictions, ironically, bear the best creative results because you have to be like, okay, how can I put this? And I keep talking about stuff like that, but anyway.
Recover the mission. Hostiles are close to victory. Be advised, hostile attack on Bravo Charlie. Our control of Bravo has been lost. Objective marked. Support your target. Be advised, enemies are attacking Bravo. Hostile troops have secured more.
But I really feel like, you know what, at least after eating a little bit, I feel better, but I was calling Pops. Pops was it?
Pops.
Oh, I hate they make my life worse. Ugh.
You mean persistent organic pollutants?
Yeah, persistent organic pollutants. Yeah. They suck. When did that happen? Okay, everyone, I will be right back. I just hit the toilet real quickly, then we can talk again. And I'm back. I didn't even forget to unmute. Yay. I'm good at this. Anyway. Well, it's depressing. You know?
What?
That the best we can have nowadays in terms of news is stuff like basically just the news just broke because basically Warner Bros. Is kind of going bankrupt and Paramount / the Saudis and right-wingers wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
Or Netflix. And Paramount offered more. Warner Bros. Doesn't want to sell to them apparently, which is good. Like Netflix sucks, But thank fuck they're not going to Paramount.
So they choose the less bad option.
Yeah, just kind of that. Exactly that. They chose the less bad option. You know how I hate how this is good news? Because Warner Brothers should not be sold to anyone. But still.
We need attack support on the marked objective.
I need to just, I need to just point out, it is incredibly just insane to see how over the past decade the gaming industry rose, like basically every major media, like especially legacy media company, just destroyed itself with idiocy. Like just pure
Our troops have captured Charlie.
bonkers idiocy. You know?
Objective Alpha is under enemy control.
Because they never, like, there was a sustainable model going on and they just pulverized it for, I don't know. I think at some point no one realized what Netflix's plan actually was. Like, I'm sorry, Netflix didn't, and I'm gonna be very direct here, Netflix never intended for subscriptions to be a good sustainable alternative. It always, I mean always, wanted to just wrestle themselves into the market, become the one viable platform, and then jack up prices. That is always how these companies acted. Always. All of them. And in the case of streaming, like, lol, what did you expect? We had to watch the bullshit go that they basically jumped onto the whole MCU train without any preparations, any vision or something. Then jump onto the subscription train because I guess, everyone was doing it, so I guess now we need to do it too. And that was never sustainable, obviously.
We are ahead of the enemy. I'm tracking a hostile target position area.
Like,
Our troops are attacking Charlie. Hostiles now hold more objectives.
there was a relatively sustainable model and relatively sustainable ideas on how to do things. And it was just flushed down the drain for nothing. Like, hey, actually, make movies with sensible settings and budgets. No, actually, crank up the VFX forge and make a reboot of something known and it's not even remotely as good. movie's just depressing. I know some people probably understood that better or more, but like, you know, how to do a good movie, because like, from what I heard, right now the James Gunn movies are good, but also like, let me just be clear here.
Take what you can carry.
When I hear, you know, it's a typical James Gunn movie about, you know, the new Supergirl, I don't know nothing about them. I actually am just disinterested at that point. Because, like, I don't know, I kind of want to see something different than, you know, just the similar formula always and always, even if it's good. At some point you just don't want to anymore.
We are targeting objective Delta.
Which is probably what killed more of Hollywood than, you know, like, I think more of Hollywood was killed by just structural, thematical, and just tone similarities than the fact they, you know, did superhero movies. Because, like, there is room for superhero movies if you just do it right to a degree. But, like,
Hostile forces are controlling the fight.
they don't exist anymore. Like, nearly all the Marvel movies are the same. It's just sometimes you maybe have someone that executes the whole thing a bit better, and then people might like it a bit more, but overall,
Attempting to capture Delta.
the fucking same.
We've neutralized Delta. Objective Charlie is under hostile attack. We now hold more objectives. Secure our defense.
Yeah. Nope. Me.
Need to defend the marked objective. Heads down. The enemy has secured more objectives. Let's strike back.
Ah. Can I also say that it's illegal that Agonia can just distract me again?
I'm not distracting you.
Oh, I'm getting very distracted by your gay shit on the monitor. Yeah. What? It is distracting to me. Brain sees cute girls and brain goes, oh, cute girls. I need to be like, oh, shoot. Because I need to shoot. But no, girls. I can't even aim properly anymore. It's just like, I'm too gay to function right now.
Nothing.
It's the truth. What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the soup stain.
Soup stain. You need to wash out the soup stain later.
You okay?
Yes. No, the fuck! Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to revive my squad mates and...
Then throw grenades under them. I think they do friendly fire, right?
No.
Oh.
Capture Charlie. Enemies are attacking Delta.
least playing with a new mouse pad is just so much nicer.
We now hold more objectives. Secure our defenses.
Greg! Bravo!
Enemies are attacking Delta.
Stay with me!
We are attempting to capture Bravo.
Let's move! Here! Thank you!
By the enemy. Regroup and re-engage.
Enemy tank!
Objective Delta is close to the enemy.
Contact enemy tank! I'm here! Come on! Let's move! Come on! Move! Oh shit!
We no longer control Alpha.
We got a man down!
Our troops are attacking Delta. The enemy has secured more objectives. Let's strike back. Objective Delta has been neutralized.
Is the controller still plugged in?
That could actually be the case. It is! Thank you! I forgot. Was it distracting? It only vibrates very.
It vibrates.
It vibrates not loud.
I heard it.
Yeah, but it's not as loud as with Helldivers. Remember that.
Well, there's no explosions going on there.
Fair enough.
And they're mostly closer.
Hostiles are attacking objective Echo.
Take what you can carry!
We are controlling the fight. Maintain our advantage.
Grab what you can!
Be advised, hostile troops have secured more objectives.
Ow, ow.
Cheers! Thank you!
All right, we now control objective Echo.
Very nice!
We now control most
Yep.
defend all positions.
Oh no. Tanky is disabled. Bad Tanky.
Tanky offline.
Tanky sideways.
We have lost objective Delta.
No.
No, Tanky! No! No, it's stuck. Yeah, you see, this is, the turret is like, there's the ammunition. This is why the turret is larger, not small and round. No, Tanky! No. We had C4, we could, oh well.
We have secured Delta. We need attack support on the marked objective. That's right, there's a hostile vehicle operating south of your current position. Be advised, the enemy are winning the fight. All units counter. Be advised, objective Echo is under attack. Our troops have secured more objectives.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you fall asleep on the floor, then better go to sleep. Have a good night, Sophie.
Be advised, enemy attack is underway on Delta.
Ah. Ah. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh. I just realized there was the armored vehicle coming at me, and I'm like, nah. It's always bad when you notice it on the worst point.
Be advised, enemies are attacking Bravo. Defend
It's not going well right now.
It's not.
Nope. And I'm feeling more and more unfocused by the minute.
Why?
I don't know. It's just... It's just like that, okay?
To be fair, lately you're kind of always unfocused.
Maybe it is because I'm currently experiencing a calorie deficit. Would be... It's not nice though.
I guess, but then I'm also on a caloric deficit and I don't feel it.
Apparently not as strong as I am.
Yep.
So I'm just here left to suffer.
Or it's something else.
Or it's something else. Could also could be.
I know how to help you then, though. Since you're generally streaming for like 3 hours, if you already can't do it anymore after 2.
It's weird. I mean, I cancel, but like today is especially it's just today it hits bad, and I don't know why. It's just like only today really badly. Yesterday was fine. Well, finally.
I thought yesterday you also had problems, but okay.
Oh, God. Hey. I had problems yesterday. Maybe a bit. Maybe a bit. But yeah, you know, beginning is a different thing, I would say, other than actually having problems at the end is is just weird. Because usually, you know, I have stuff to stay awake, but well.
Maybe you need some switch up.
What?
Some switch up.
Oh yeah, I mean, maybe I should do a rest day next week again. You know what? I think that's actually good if we maybe just say nothing on Monday and then we go just meet the cats.
Yeah. Going to the cat cafe and you can maybe reload your batteries of
With cats.
energy and cats.
Yes. Very important.
You were in front there at the cafe. Do they have anything interesting to eat?
They have sandwiches there, but I mean, I'd say their self-made cakes are probably the most interesting, but yeah. Interesting, the sound is just not playing the music. That's just eerie. Weirdly eerie. Ouch.
You're not good at selling the cat cafes food. To me, specifically.
I mean, it looked pretty average, actually. That's a problem, I would say.
And to be fair, it's a cat cafe. It's there for the cats, not
It's
for
for the cats, yes.
not for the cake.
I mean, I honestly, the self-made cakes in their vitrine actually look really good.
Which ones?
I know they had one that was, I think it was Oreo. Like, there was like an Oreo glaze over it, like
Okay, that already seems...
a chocolate one. I know, a chocolate Oreo thing. interesting Greek dessert they apparently made themselves, which basically looked like a donut with stuff in the middle.
Which kind of stuff?
Cream.
Cream.
So, yeah. I'm sorry if it sounds boring.
Not that it's boring, it's that it's not necessarily to my taste. Because my taste is boring. I like Schmandkuchen.
It's a very simple cake.
Very simple, very homogeneous cake.
At best, some glazing over it.
I don't like glazing over it.
I know, but at best. I think you... And then, even then, usually people do chocolate glazing, and you would probably rather like something like lemon.
Not necessarily on my Schmand. I don't know how to translate Schmand. Let
No.
me look up how to translate Schmand.
It's probably creme fraiche.
Something along those lines, yeah.
All right, objective Charlie is now under our control.
It is sour cream.
Huh.
The sour cream chocolate cake. It doesn't taste sour though.
Yeah. Sour cream is probably more sour than Schmand. I think. I don't wonder if you can substitute it with yogurt though.
Maybe.
Would probably make it, you know, more protein, less calories.
You said you wanted to talk about the industry as well, right?
Oh yeah, it was mainly about the Gen AI stuff.
Did you know that Monster Hunter Wilds is a new update?
Yeah, we talked about that today already.
Oh, we already did?
Yeah, we literally looked through the armors.
Oh, you mean offline, but not in stream.
Oh, yeah, offline we did.
See? You're not
Okay.
thinking again.
No, yeah, there's a new update and it's, listen, everyone, we might stream it later this week, but
Maybe.
maybe. Because, like, genuinely, there was nothing worthwhile in the last updates. Like, none of the new monsters were, like, any real challenge.
Oh, this one isn't either.
Yeah,
Like most people say, it's a 20-minute fights, and it feels like you're fighting at the thing 10 of them.
okay.
Eh.
What do you, the last one I didn't understand, acoustically.
It's a 20-minute fight for them, and it feels like you're only fighting at 10% of the time, 10 minutes.
Oh, fun! Remember
It's
when
like
the big siege fights were, like, actually fights?
well, that was rarely the case, but
I mean, you still damaged stuff like, you know, Shengao Ren. Still had to do shit on your own.
well, apparently it has like 3 phases. The last one it flies, and you need a DPS check of brain element to survive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, honestly, I don't know if she has the game, but this might probably be one of those cases where if she had time, I would actually probably, play Suva, because she played, Gokmasios a lot in 4, apparently, and really loves the fight.
It has apparently 3 moves per phase, so
Oh, boy!
it's apparently the more cinematic and worst version of Saki where if you
You know what ironic is? What's ironic about this? like, I remember distinctly that when 4 came out and Gogmasios hit, he became kind of an instant hit with the fanbase due to the main fact of everyone kind of agreeing that it's the first good siege fight in the series. Which is polemic because I do think they were fun before and like, but I get it. Apparently this one was the good one, and it's kind of a crime that it wasn't in Generations, I would say. Because I don't think Gogmasios is in Generations, else I would have said, hey, let us actually play Generations until Gogmasios and then we can compare.
Also, obvious thing, they reduced Gogmasios from a G-rank endgame fight to a high rank fight.
Bravo has been neutralized.
Happens quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yep.
Anyway, oh, you know what? I should die. What?
Just funny.
It's real though. Because I don't need this. I need this. Yeah, that's the thing. If something is at the end of G rank, it maybe should not be degraded to high rank stuff. It's just an idea, but I think those were always decisions where the series kind of devalued their monsters all the time. Like, listen, I said this before and I said this, I will say it now. As much as I like Nagakuga, the thing is, Naga was to a big degree designed around the idea that it is a G-rank monster.
Not to a degree.
It is a G-rank monster. It was always the idea that this is one of those monsters that you will only meet if you actually ascend into the rank where you get the monsters that are off the books. You know, the thing about G rank is to a degree it's secret. Like I think the series kind of forgot that themselves, that G rank was the stuff you know, the guild doesn't want regular people to know exist. And Naga was just one of those things, and well, one game later it's suddenly low rank. And I still like Naga, I still like the moveset. Wow, and I think we mostly used the Naga set even in Portable Third. Because it was a general, because it's just a good set. But like,
I'm gonna prefer to use it because it gave the thing.
still doesn't gen. Oh, you Nah, I'd rather die. Fuck you.
That's why missions like this are bad game design. I'm
Yeah.
still wondering why you're playing this game.
It's fun and you can talk with people.
You can talk to me without the game, even better.
Hey, you know what? But I don't only want to talk to you right
I
now.
am people.
I am people. I am people.
Yeah.
We've neutralized Charlie.
People just
Okay,
give people
people.
a bad rep sometimes. That's why I am people.
Okay, people.
Now. Yay!
I mean, yeah, the thing is just, that is a downgrade. Like, even if I say, yeah, I still like the fight, it's just, listen, we played Unite at the beginning of this year. And guess what? Naga hits different. Because if something is a new, like, is a quote-unquote monster you can only fight when you hit G rank, it instantly is like, oh shit.
But yeah, we need to make it easier and, well, even more forgiving in its moveset so that you can dodge it easier, so we can put it into low rank and people can slowly ease into it when we ramp the damage up again, but still keep the moveset way easier to dodge. Because that is how you make things more accessible to people. Blah. I feel terrible for the sarcasm.
Yeah. I mean, let me just put it like this. I do think this is probably the worst design aspect of Monster Hunter.
Nowadays? Yeah.
See, like, this is already a thing since, 3rd gen, I would say. It's just this idea that everyone should be able to play against every monster, and like, the strong ones.
Monster Hunter isn't so hard, but then again, I did a bit of research with the Gogmasius thing, and apparently there are people who never could beat World for some reason, and now saying Gogmasius is a good fight, 10 out of 10. Meanwhile, everyone who apparently has played a video game before is saying the fight is piss easy.
Yeah, like, I'm just honest. If you start making a game like Monster Hunter, if you start designing it for the lowest common denominator, you're just killing your game. Because, yeah, some people are going to be bad and will not finish your game. That's fine. Excuse me for being loud here for a second. But people not finishing your game is fine. Most of them will come back anyway. Listen, they said we didn't finish World. Okay. And they fucking came back. For Wilds. It's just, why did you make it easier? The whole point of the game, the whole point of the series is self-improvement. That is a core idea of the series. The easier you make it, the more you jam everything into low rank. So, the more you will actually just hollow out this feeling of progress. Because you cannot, right? You cannot untie the experience of growth in Monster Hunter from a certain challenge. It is fundamental to the game experience. And I know people are like, oh, but shouldn't I? No. If you make a game about beating monsters and struggling doing so, then it will only come together if there is a struggle. And like,
that obviously means some people, for different reasons, won't win the struggle.
Yeah. But like, most of them just don't bother learning the game, don't bother making armor set. Again, why should you cater to them? The thing is, this isn't even saying make the game hard. It says give the game friction. Give the game meat. Because the easier you make it, the more you, put things in the game that are just easily doable, the more you simply devalue your game, your experience. It can still be enjoyable, but it will not be the same. Because, for example, if you look at Unite, you will have some monsters that are repeating in low and high rank.
Even in G rank.
Even in G rank, and that's fine. But there will be some more unique monsters popping up in high rank than in low rank.
Yeah, and in G rank again.
And in G rank again. And those make it interesting. And also, those make it varied. Because, like, one of the biggest problems, ironically, I will just point this out, one of the biggest problems, in my opinion, Sunbreak had, okay, is that aside from Rajang, what new monster was there in high rank?
We have Bravo under attack.
A very bad rendition of Espinas.
That was not in high rank.
I'm pretty sure
Nope.
we found the first one in high rank.
Nope. Not in high rank.
Okay.
Espionage was in Sunbreak.
Oh, it felt like high rank. I'm sorry.
I know, Rise is fun. Rise was also a bit too easy. Sorry.
I mean, it's
But the
true.
thing is,
if Espinas isn't bouncing your weapon, like in general, when you start to fight it, unless you have like a specific weapon path where you have a higher sharpness level than usual, you haven't designed Espinas correctly.
yeah. I feel like there they also were forced to just make concessions in monster design because, like, Gravios in Wilds is a joke. Gravios in Unite is not hard, but it's, you know, it's a stone. It's a walking stone. It
The
comes.
moveset is slacking, but it makes up for it with a lot of firepower.
Yeah, but also
Now
quickly.
in Wilds they have detect, but the thing does neither much damage nor has it any dangerous moves.
Yeah, because the irony is, in my opinion, in Unite, it was a thing, it was one of those puzzle monsters, as in, this presents you with a problem, how do you deal with it?
Barrel through or find a solution.
Yeah. And, I mean, the problem it had was that it was kinda overlapping with Basarios on that regard, and
Yeah, but it's the adult form, it's fine.
yeah.
We're moving objective Charlie.
Yeah, this was fine, and, frankly, that was just removed. Because suddenly having a monster that is switch up how you fight it to a degree, just was apparently not something they allow. Which is just okay.
Charlie has been neutralized.
Our forces control more objectives than the enemy. Objective Charlie has been secured. Enemies are attacking objective Bravo.
But yeah, ultimately I would say some monsters being G rank just makes them more interesting because it's something like that's one of the reasons, by the way, people were talking about monsters, or, you know, for example in MMOs about, you know, certain dungeons or raids, because they were not available to most. Just a select few got there. Like, the thing is, if you make everything accessible, you just lose the flair. And it also sucks for a game.
Just the subspecies of the crabs in Unite were fun.
Oh yeah.
Were they that much different? No, but they brought a lot more pressure into the fight. At least the plum daimyo Hamitar?
Plum Daimyo Hemitor, yeah.
That was something you only fought in here, and you're like, yeah, I know crabs. I fought them since low rank.
Not this crap.
Not this crab.
Not this crap. Enjoy pain. Sorry, there was just like a lot going on right now. Waiting for the anti-air again. God. In the end, yeah, I'm just like, I do think this, the exclusivity part is just something that it's just missing from games nowadays, and it's holding them back. Because yeah,
I know what you mean with exclusivity. I'm not sure it's the best
It is-
word to use for that.
I think it is to a degree. It's just like if you only really play a long time, then you will actually see or be able to use the entire round with it. That is to a degree exclusivity. But like, that's not even in a negative way. It's just, yeah. Monsters just feel more imposing when they're, not when they're simply not on every fucking difficulty level. Like, I'd say for also Generations, as much as I like the fights, they maybe should have not done 4 flagships in low rank. Or oh hey, 3rd low rank is just oops all Elder Dragons.
To be fair, United also lowering Elder Dragons.
Yeah, but not they were basically very much hidden.
True.
So this wasn't like
It was basically like a reward for people who either completed everything or for people who couldn't beat the urgent quests.
Yep. Okay, so that apparently didn't count. Why was he suddenly a tank? What is my team doing? Kill their tanks! Oh well, but yeah, yeah, I do think some of those should have been actually like the 3-star low rank quests at best. Like, I would just make it more interesting and they could actually spread them out a lot better. I do think Elder Dragons should only start appearing in high rank because they're Elder Dragons. Like, how can you name something Elder Dragon and then just say, yeah, you can fight them on the lowest difficulty, no worries. Like,
I guess if they're weakened.
you know what? they don't even do that anymore. Because keep in mind, yes, you can fight an Elder Dragon in Unite. You know how? So there's Rusted Kushala the Aura, which is an interesting case because it's definitely, you know, it's a quote-unquote subspecies, but it's specifically one designed to be easy. Like,
Because it's molding.
yeah, because it's molding, which is kind of an important thing to actually point out, because I think a lot of people, because they genuinely had this idea that, yeah, we can introduce one or maybe two Elder Dragons that are not that strong. Like, for example, I do think Gore makes sense in low rank because, you know, other stage. So they actually have like two Elder Dragons you can actually encounter in low rank. But like, again, what is a sensible progression that, you know, okay, here's the thing. I do think what a lot of people forget, and I think old Monster Hunter games did really well, and then they just start doing that because it was more and more about the whole, oh yeah, we're a game, and you know, everyone should have fun playing the game, is actually storytelling via its mission structure. That's kind of an important thing, actually. Like, how strong something is was to a degree dictated by the fact of who do you fight it, when do you fight it. Because, yeah, if it's low rank, it's not going to be a hard monster. If it's going to be high, if you just start encountering it in high rank, it probably has some tricks up its sleeve. If you encounter it in G rank, well, that's a tough one. That is just a type of, you know, that is storytelling via structure. And then they just gutted it. I mean, and like, it's not even the only game that does that, by the way. Like, I feel a lot of times mission structure or, you know, mission selections are seen as archaic because, you know, oh hey, you know, games did that once so they can because they had to have loading times, you know, etc, etc, etc. But like, you can do stuff with that. And I mean, it's not the only game that did that. Like, famously right now, we will play that tomorrow, by the way, EDF also does that. It uses names and all that to communicate things about its world and story through the mission select screen. I think old Armored Core games also did do that. It's tool, and I was just like, oh, you know, what would be the most fun selection of fights? And like, And again, then we have the weird thing of just, listen, I find it actually very interesting that probably by accident, Wilds actually gives us one Elder Dragon in high rank, and it's Gore. You know, the larval stage thing. I don't know what to say about this anymore. It's just, these are just things where I don't want to point out, I don't say this is like a crime against nature. It's just sloppy, for lack of a better word, actually. It's just, makes me feel like there wasn't really care put into it. As if all of that is just an afterthought. And yeah, I am interested in seeing how Gogmasius is, and I would like to have someone there that actually fought Gogmasius, so because frankly I never played that much for. We have it here. Maybe we will play it one day. But then probably, you know, from that from the thing that Nintendo doesn't want people to actually use because Nintendo sucks. You know, it's the only way to actually, you know, play 3 Ultimate and 4 Ultimate in peace. Thanks, fellow anti-air person. That was nice of them. They parked, helped me repair, and then, yeah. No helicopter pilots coming anymore. Oh, wait, there are. Oh.
We need to rally defense of the marked objective.
That's going. yeah, I don't know. You know, I am looking forward to maybe playing through Generations next year. That will probably be fun at least. Yeah, that's one thing, by the way. I'm stupid. There we go. There. Whee!
We now control more objectives. Secure our defenses.
Why is it suddenly not burst fire anymore?
Is under attack.
Whee!
Our attack on Echo is
Anyway, I really faced down that goddamn jet.
Be advised, we've lost control of Bravo.
That counted as a kill, but not vehicle destroyed. God, why is it so inconsistent?
advised. Hostile forces have maintained control of the fight. Enemy attack launched on Bravo.
Be advised, Charlie is under attack.
Da, 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 da. Where are you, helicopters? Where are you, jets? I want to shoot you so badly. Where are you? Please respawn. There they are again, I think. Oh. Okay,
We're attacking objective Echo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm... Oh, there we are.
Our forces have neutralized Echo.
That is going well. It's our UAV. I like that. I really thought, you know, I will be stuck in hell destroying aircraft, but suddenly, it just goes. So anyway, is there another helicopter coming? Yes, no, maybe? It's very funny when they're painted and you can just shoot your anti-air missiles at normal tanks. I mean, technically works, but yeah. Okay, where are they? No helicopters are here. Oh, wait, there's one. Uh-huh.
Lost control of objective Alpha. We begin our assault on Charlie.
We've neutralized Charlie.
Attacking objective Alpha.
Attacking objective Bravo.
Let's take control.
Damn, even you best right now.
Enemy attack confirmed at Charlie.
Okay, that, weapon pilot is becoming a bit on my nerves. No, you don't. Where are you?
Targeting Alpha.
Where the fuck are you? That- You know what? This has just become personal with that jet pilot. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're all here for something else, but Well, that was a turnaround in the end. I'm almost done with that even. That was a good anti-air round actually. Well. Almost, but yeah. So. Yeah, well, it was wrapping up here. I hope you all had some fun talking. We had some good topics today. Some good talk. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't know when we will play it. Probably if we actually know that Gogmasius is like worthwhile to kill, because Omega wasn't and all the other ones weren't, and at some point this just felt like a fucking time waste to do. So yeah, I mean, the irony is it seems that actually I might even profit if I just made a weapon from Gogmasius, which is an extension to the weapon gambling system. So at this point I'm just like, fuck off, game. Like, I do think people who genuinely look at the you know, weapon gambling and the access war gambling as any form of worthwhile stuff, they genuinely keep themselves from playing finished or good games. Because like that is just this is just like the dumbest Skinner box ever. Because
at least in World, you could fully re-roll Safijiva weapons.
Yeah. You can't do that now.
It just feels terrible. And even the RNG in Safijiva was bad. It wasn't good.
Yeah, it's like there is a bunch of stuff that, you know, by the way, it's like randomization is one thing. Especially if you can have some form of control over randomization. The Monster Hunter series actually did this well before, and actually better before World even.
I mean, technically Monster Hunter is always gambling because you go for loot drops.
Yeah,
but that's way better. If you want to make something rare, don't use the gambling system. Just give me a 0.01% drop, aka, oh wait, hardcore calves. Frontier did it already. Oops.
Yeah. Like, they already had really good
ideas.
They had really good ideas. They had good concepts. They had that. But like, Wilds is the cheapest way possible, and you genuinely, I will say, need to gaslight yourself to not realize, or you know, to just not see that how they do it is like the cheapest gambling way possible, just so you keep playing. Like, you need to actively gaslight yourself to actually see how bullshit that is.
If you do not engage with Artian weapons and other forms of endgame gambling mechanics, the game is very short.
It is. It is incredibly short.
Like, we took a long time because we joined each other's missions most of the time.
But still, like, I'm going to be honest with you. It was still most of the time just watching a cutscene and having a cheap fight. Like, I can only say, yes, Wilds technically has a similar length to other quote-unquote guild halls or story mode in World. But World was...
Or other titles.
But those are mostly fighting things and doing things. Wilds is just...
forced walking sequences and cutscenes.
Yeah, and also even then I would say it's shorter. There was, like, even just going from low to high rank, it took... you know what? Fuck it. I can actually look this up. Listen, everyone.
And we played it before guides came out, so
Yeah, the thing is, I just want to point this out. We streamed through that game. There are VODs of it on YouTube, and we streamed through Monster Hunter, Freedom Unite. So, like, let's just scroll back. Yeah, I know that was the most awkward pause ever.
you often just say Monster Hunter, even though you mean a specific one.
Yeah. Let me just look at it.
You should start doing some playlists.
Yeah, I should 100% do that, actually. You know what? I will do that in the future.
You said that last year.
I did?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so, Monster Hunter Wild. So, in total, to get through the game, we had... So 7 hours early one, start the stream. 5 hours on top, so that's around 12 hours. Then roughly, then it's always roughly
How
3.
about I'm taking out the calculator. Okay, and you give me the hours and minutes.
Yeah, and okay, so first one is 7 hours 25 minutes.
So
Yeah, you can't really add that well.
yeah, right. I don't like it if technology doesn't solve my problems.
Yeah, sorry. You can individually count them together. No, that doesn't...
It actually does.
Okay.
Technology solves my problems.
Okay. It doesn't even need a whole server farm to work.
Yes, so 7 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Then 5 hours and 15.
5 hours and 15. Calculate.
12 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, then that...
12 hours, 40 minutes.
To 3 hours and 57.
57? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's 16 hours and 37 minutes.
Then you add 3 hours and 37 on top. Interesting how that lines up.
That's 20 hours and 40 minutes.
Then 2 hours 41.
Are you sure that's not where we already farmed endgame monsters or something?
No, I think we stopped doing that. You know what? No, there's because here's gore.
Okay.
But that's actually already farming endgame stuff, yes. So
we're at 22 hours and 55 minutes.
oh, just add 4 more. But I think we already were gone through it. So yeah, we probably were through it already
You
here.
can just look. You can just look into it. You can just open up the stream, and stream 6.
Stream 6, yeah. Let me just.
If you said that's where we. Oh, you see, even your playtime. Isn't that even easier?
Oh, that's 25 hours roughly. It says, which it isn't.
No, that's fair. We didn't stream everything. You didn't.
Okay, that's gore. Oh yeah, that's like the last thing.
Technically, it's over when we have Tsushia, but Tsushia wasn't originally in high rank. It was patched in later.
That is tempered right now.
Tempered
yeah.
or arch tempered?
That's tempered. Just tempered. So I think at this point we are done.
So 4 hours more.
Rough. Wait, a word turned upside down. I think that is kind of the last one, yeah. So, it's not 4, but like 1 hour more, I would say. The rest was just doing some extra stuff and cleaning things up, but yeah.
Cleaning things up.
Basically, you know, unlocking tempered monsters, etc. And and then the last we basically farmed the end game gear in the last streams. So, but yeah, basically 1 hour of 23 hours. That's
Nearly 24.
By the way, we roughly took 8 streams with one longer one, but roughly 8 streams, okay?
But they were always long.
They always were like between 3 and 4 hours. So, yeah. There's some more frontier, but
What are you looking for?
here it is. Freedom Unite.
12.
12 streams.
Well, but that was multiplayer, so G-Ring included.
Yeah, included. But like, let me just look at where we are at stream. So we always did like 4 to 6 hours.
Well, Wild started out as a 7-hour stream.
Yeah, but like that was stream 6, so you know. Let me just check this one out. Actually, where are we here? That looks like endgame already.
Just go a bit back, then you see the quest. So,
Just go
further
for it,
back, then you know also which guild person you spoke to.
High rank.
High rank.
Yeah, we already.
Because unlocking the gold Rathian and silver Rathalos takes a while. That's one of the weaker parts of the Unite Guild Hall.
That's true.
But it also made G-Rank actually like a thing people didn't know how to
access. Yeah, we played a lot. Like those are 5 hours, 4 hours. I can already tell you, Unite took longer to beat until to get through high rank.
And we already know what we're doing in Unite. Except when I forgot to upgrade my heavy bow gun.
Yeah, was a thing.
That was a thing that happened.
Was a thing that definitely happened.
I Forgonia.
Agonia. Anyway, yeah, Unite was longer. And Unite is mostly gameplay, not talking. Like, you know why I think Wilds was just underbaked and just boring. Anyway, have a good night, everyone. See you tomorrow for EDF. EDF! Bye!
Bye.